This is a video showing how to plot a purely mathematical function within SPARKvue. In order to have the inputs for the function, I need to have at least one sensor connected to SPARKvue. I'm going to do that by selecting the onboard microphone and selecting sound intensity. It's helpful to have a sensor that can collect data quickly so that we can plot the data quickly. So once I have the plot up here, I'm going to click on the cross tools down below and select calculated data. Within the calculated data screen, I'm going to type in my input variable, x equals, and then down below I'm going to click on my statistics button and select count. For the argument of this, I will select on measurements, go down to the measurement that I wish to use as the count. So this will output a series of integers from 1 up after I start collecting data. If I wish to start to the left of 0, I can subtract off a value here. In this case, I want to start 100 time steps to the left of the 0. Next, I'm going to put parentheses around this entire calculation here, and I'm going to multiply this by the step size that I wish to use, or the distance on the x-axis between the data points. In this case, I'm going to have this be 100th of a value, so that I will start at a point 1 to the left of the origin. I can assign units to this by clicking on properties, but in this case we're going to have this be a purely mathematical function. So I'm going to hit enter. Next, I'm going to type in the function that I wish to plot. And I will select my input variable by going to measurements, selecting user entered, and then selecting my x value here. Then I can build my function around this. In this case, I'm simply going to square this value. Once I've completed the calculation there, I can again assign properties and give it units if I wish. In this case, it will be purely mathematical. Hit enter and click on done and OK. Now I'm going to change the setup of the graph. On the vertical axis, I'm going to select the calculation that I've just created. For the x-axis, or for the horizontal axis, I'm going to select the index, or the input variable that I'm going to use for my function. I'm now going to center this, and it's helpful to increase the sampling rate here, because if you have a low sampling rate, it's going to take a long time to draw your function. I'll click on OK, and I'll hit play. So you can see very quickly it's drawn a very large graph here. It is possible to select a portion of this by clicking on the selection tool, selecting the portion of the graph that I wish to see, and then clicking on the auto scale. The vertical axis can be scaled by clicking on the vertical axis and stretching. And then also you can apply all the other tools that are within SPARKvue to the calculation that you've just generated.